And good morning is 7:04 on this Friday, February 16th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Friday morning, temperature just about enough to frost just a little bit this morning, but going to be a fantastic Friday. We're glad to have you with us, and of course, each Friday we are on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. Not one, but two with us this morning to talk about Wilson Bank and Trust. We have Amanda Webb here. Amanda is Vice President and Office Manager of the Castle Heights branch of Wilson Bank and Trust. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to have you with us again. And you brought Nick Colbert with you this morning, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Nick, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Nick is a community banker.
Yes, sir.
That's a title they give everybody that's kind of a jack of all trades and do a little bit of everything, I suppose. Yeah. And I have to say, you look very nice with your Wilson Bank and Trust jacket on this morning.
Thank you.
All right, well, Amanda, get us started. How long? Let me ask this: How long have you been leading this branch of Wilson Bank and Trust?
This branch, around 3 years. I've been with the bank for about 26.
26.
Mm-hmm. In some form or fashion, yes.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Nick? You haven't been there that long.
Not that long, not 26 years. I've been there since June of last year, or 2022, I guess, so about a year and a half.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying it all?
Yes, yeah, they've been awesome to me.
Well, wonderful. Okay, what do you got for us?
Well, one thing we want to remind everyone that we will be closed Monday, February the 19th for President's Day. So if you have any needs, if you're a business out there and need to get a little change, please come by and see us, and we'll be opening Tuesday regular time.
But get it done today or wait till Tuesday. It's pretty much our
Saturday banking.
All right.
Yeah, you still have some time, but we just want to be sure everyone was aware.
You got great plans for the weekend?
Absolutely. I'm actually going to be helping some of the people that come in on Saturday at the main office over there. I'm going to visit there, and then maybe cook out if it's not raining, which is going to be.
Of course.
What about you, Nick? No doubt you look forward to a day off.
Mm-hmm. So my girlfriend was sick on Valentine's Day, so we're planning on taking her out this weekend and having a date then.
All right. Well, just our way of reminding everybody, Monday is a holiday for some, and all the banks actually is, and the post office doesn't open on Monday. It's a holiday. It's President's Day, and we used to. I think it pretty much honors Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, our first president, and President Lincoln, of course. And we used to have a day for each one of them. Now it's President's Day, and it's a Monday holiday, so everybody's happy.
Absolutely.
We love it.
What else you got?
Well, also this time of year, a lot of our customers are thinking about taxes and budgeting. So on our website, we would like to ask everyone to go out there and check out our financial literacy products. There's some loan calculators, investment calculators, all sorts of ways that we can help our customers to learn more about their own finances. And there's even tools out there for children. So there's kind of more fun for those, more game-oriented.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about last weekend. I think it deserves a mention here. I don't know how much you were involved, but if you work at Wilson Bank and Trust and there's a community event, you're involved in some way, I'm pretty sure. Well, what about that, Nick?
The Expo Center?
Yeah.
It was a pretty good show. I've heard Amanda say it was a great time, and you have to meet a lot of people. We've had some people come into the bank who hadn't heard of us before, so it was a great way to get us out there in the community.
Yeah. Well, anything you want to add to that?
No, just I was there. It was a wonderful event. I worked the Friday night shift. I met some really great future customers, some current customers, wonderful vendors, a lot of people with some really great ideas. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to come out every weekend and do, every year, on that weekend. And we have a lot of return customers that come every year.
Well, you have a bank that is I think, very centrally located, a very important location there where it is, and no doubt there's a lot of business that's transacted there, and stay pretty busy, don't you?
We do, and we're also full service. So Nick, being that all-around banker, you come in, you want to open a CD, you want to open any kind of relationship like that, Nick can help you with that. Mm-hmm. He's also a teller. And then we also want to mention that we are full service at that office. If you need a loan, if you need whatever you need, we can help you right there. So
Don't
stop by and see us.
Else.
No.
All right. Well, how many employees you have? I can think of 3 or 4, 2 or 3 more besides you. I think.
We have 6 now. We just we're fully staffed again. So I had to kind of look at Nick's like, how many are we now? So we are fully staffed, which we're grateful for.
Yeah. Not looking for anybody else right now.
Well, not maybe at our office, but in general, if you have some talent, we'd love to meet you.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. You've rated real well in surveys. It's been the bank has for a great place to work.
We're very proud of that, yes. And we're always, again, looking for talent. So you can go online and apply, come by any of our offices and talk to us.
Okay. Well, remember, be closed on Monday and open today. And the Saturday banks that are of Wilson Bank that are open will be open as well. And I guess that's about it this morning. But our thanks to Amanda Webb, Vice President, Office Manager, and Nick Colbert, Community Banker, from the Castle Heights branch of Wilson Bank and Trust. And we remind you, it's Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, still here, still independent, still committed to you, excellence in banking since 1987. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, 10 minutes after the hour. It's Friday. It is time for our Friday Senate report, and here is Senator Mark Pody.
Good morning, Coleman. Coleman, I got to tell you, and Amanda's sitting right here, and I went to the Expo Center with my wife, and she was one of the very first people that I came and greeted us when we came in, and she told us about the special rates that they had, and so I think my daughter had gone down and either opened an account or is about to, or whatever, to take advantage of that. And I said, oh, Amanda, we want to do something right here for the Expo Center, and we did a Facebook Live right there. So Amanda, thank you for your help there.
Invitation. That was very much impromptu.
All right. Well, what a way. Nothing like a personal endorsement, right?
That's right.
Well,
So
go ahead.
We are absolutely, if I were to look at it as a football game for just a moment, I would say that we're halfway through the second quarter in the football game down at the Capitol. We are in full force. Things are moving quickly. All the bills that we have, they've been filed. All the amendments, that were caption bills are getting filed and such. I just got a notice yesterday that from our Commerce Committee that they said we are having our final notice. If you want a bill to be heard this year, we got 18 days to put it on notice. I mean, so that's the first sign of almost somebody starting to say, we're going to shut down. Mm-hmm. And so 18 days, I got to get all the bills that go through that committee, make sure that's on notice. I got 48 bills left to hear in transportation, and that's it. So we only got 48 more bills there, and typically we can run about 15 bills per week in that committee. So, I mean, even that's just over 3 weeks. And all those bills won't be heard because some of them will die in the House or whatever. They just won't be run. So, it's the first signs that we're well into it and looking at the ending, coming up sometime in April.
Yeah. There seems to be, and I don't know how much we can credit the news media with this, but there's some controversial issues, it seems, every week that pop up. And everybody is not on the same page. I think that's a fair statement. The news media seems to and TV primarily, get greatly involved in some of these issues. We have some people who are protesting from time to time or doing demonstrations or trying to call attention to what to their pet project, I guess. You have to deal with that all the time, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now, it's died down a little bit from where it was last year, and so we haven't had as many protesters recently, but I'm sure they'll come back, especially as some of the bills start going through. The committee's getting on the floor, so we're expecting them to come back, and they've actually brought some extra troopers down there to help manage any crowds that come in. And Coleman, I've got to tell you, I'm not opposed to them coming in. I'm not opposed to them having their voices heard and such, but we just want to have it done in a civil manner. That's why you don't have to be rude to do it. We want the voices heard. But like when they were protesting the governor speaking at the State of the State, that was rude. I mean, he was just there to try and say, here's where we are, here's what we're doing. And he had to stop sometimes, so he couldn't even finish his sentence, and that wasn't right.
Well, you work on that, but can't control it 100%, I guess.
That's exactly right. But now we do have a couple of very contentious issues coming, and we've been talking about what would this school choice or the voucher type program look like. And even as of today, that language has not been out there. I've not seen the language, but we anticipate that language is going to be dropped probably sometime late next week and go into committee the following week. So we're getting close. That's one of the biggest bills we'll be talking about all year. The other one is fourth grade retention, okay? And so last year, we had this, anybody in third grade, they had to be able to read or they wouldn't be promoted to the fourth grade. And there was several off-ramps and a lot of people that had taken those off-ramps and we put them into fourth grade. There's really not off-ramps in the fourth grade. So how those students are progressing is going to be extremely interesting, and because we don't want to be holding a lot of students back, because that could be a large anomaly for all the schools, if there's 2 or 3 classes that they have to have extra, whatever. So we're watching that, and I met with the governor, met with the State Board of Education last night. We were, and literally went through hours of discussion of what is the right choices for our fourth graders that are in this unique situation. I talked with Brian Hutto. In fact, he and his team came down to the Capitol and we worked through some issues down there. And my hat's off to him and his staff for really, really having a handle on some of the things that are going on and bringing this to everybody's attention. But that's a pretty big issue coming up right now.
Okay, well, coming up for us, it's time for a break, which we'll do right here, and more on our Friday Senate Report with Senator Mark Bodie in a moment on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, get a battery installed in most vehicles, $149.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. There is a couple of accidents out here right now. We're still watching this heavy traffic coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County on 24 West up through the Antioch area, as the traffic also continues to build on Ellington Parkway, coming down from the top down to the bottom as it increases in the Mount Juliet area, 40 West headed towards Hermitage. A little bit of radar in Wilson and Smith County this morning. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Middle Tennessee. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
My name is Heather Sadler-Gallagher, and I'm asking for your vote to serve on the Lebanon Special School District School Board. Every student deserves to be taught skills and lessons that set them up for success beyond the classroom. Every parent deserves a school board member who will listen to their concerns. Every teacher deserves enough resources to do their job well. Every voter deserves a school board that is a good steward with their tax dollars. That's why I'm fighting to put kids, not politics, first.
Paid for by committee to elect Heather Sadler-Gallagher, School Board, Kirsten Harris, Treasurer.
Hey, this is Dr. Derek Gregory, and I'm proud to announce to you the opening of our brand new dental practice, Gregory Dental Group, at 1746 West Main Street, just across the road from Sports Village. Come experience modern dentistry at its best. We're always welcoming new patients, and I truly look forward to taking the best care of all your dental needs. Come by or call us today.
That's Gregory Dental Group, 615-444-0322, or online at myLebanonTNDentist.com. Gregory Dental Group, compassion, knowledge, skill.
We continue our Friday Senate Report. Senator Mark Bodie, who's with us each week in this time slot, except once a year.
Yes. Now, Coleman, I got to tell you something that's going to happen tomorrow night, which is kind of cool. We got great senior citizen centers here in Lebanon, and they got their Valentine's Day dinner tomorrow night. So my wife and I are going to go and enjoy the Valentine's dinner with the seniors tomorrow night.
Well, keep talking. I got something I want to mention.
All right. Well, let me tell you some of the bills that we are working on yet, and one of them is patients' rights. And we actually passed this in the Senate this week. And what that means is, I'm going to give an example. If my wife was in the hospital and I had the power of attorney, I wanted the right to make sure that each of us would be able to go see that person in the hospital and help make the healthcare decisions. So even if there was, unique circumstances, whatever, I just felt it was important that they can't shut the hospital down without us at least seeing that person. We had a lot of people that actually passed away in the hospital and they never got to even say goodbye or see their loved ones. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen again. So that was a huge bill that we just passed this week. It's in the House now, and I think it's going to fly through pretty quick.
Okay, what I wanted to mention, we were talking about activities. The Wilson County Black History Committee is hosting the annual Black History Month celebration. It's We the People, and this year honoring Congressman John R. Lewis. This is going to be Sunday, February 18th, 2 to 4 p.m. at Lebanon's First Baptist Rock and the historic Pickett Chapel, and that's at 209 East Market Street. So a number of speakers and this celebration, and Mary Harris is kind of in charge of this and sent me this information. Just wanted to make everybody aware of it one more time.
I want to give a shout out to Mary Harris. She goes out of her way to make sure that we're informed on things like this, and she has been just a really class individual. I really appreciate working with her and talking with her, and she's got a wealth of knowledge of some of the history of Wilson County. So just a shout out to Mary Harris. I think she does a good job.
We haven't talked about this much lately, but there's the abortion thing is what I want to mention here this morning. And I know I saw a television story about how many women are going to other states for abortion, and the percentage is higher now than it was. And you hear about this, I know, all the time. I don't think you've changed your opinion on all of this one iota.
And Coleman, you're absolutely right. And there are people that are doing this, and they are moving from time to time to go out of state to do it. We have said that you can't use taxpayer money. Don't use taxpayer money to go out of state to do this. So we're trying to look at what's happening in Tennessee, and my boundaries are the state of Tennessee. So I can't do anything when somebody moves out of the state of Tennessee, but I am going to do my best to protect life of anybody that's in Tennessee. And it boils down to the question is that a human being in the womb, and or is that just still something that's a piece of fetus or whatever? And I believe that is a human being. I believe that is a living human being, and that is a living human being that has constitutional rights. And that's the gist of what we're getting to. You know, some people say, well, it's not really a living human being until after it's born, or after it's been born for 30 minutes or something like this. And that's where the whole rub comes down to, you know, when is that actually a living human being?
What kind of, are we going to have any abortion legislation, any bills going to pass regarding that this year, as far as you know? Is anything going to be done one way or the other on either side?
So there's several pieces of legislation to loosen up the abortion, what we have in the laws right now, and I don't think that's going to pass. I think it's going to be a close vote, but I don't think it's going to pass. On the other side, there is one that is going to be trying to define life a little bit more, and saying this is life, and this is exactly what the science says life is, and this is exactly what the DNA says, that this is an individual human being. So we're going to be looking at that piece as well. But I don't think either side is going to go anywhere. I think it's going to stay status quo in Tennessee. Has
the governor come out strong very much? Has this been something that he's been very concerned about, really? Or?
Yeah, yes, he is. And I think he's very satisfied with where we are in Tennessee. He's not looking to change it one way or the other. I think he's very comfortable with the law that we have right now.
All right, what else do we need to talk about this morning? You've got a list.
I do, Coleman. And one of the biggest bills, and I know we've talked about it before, is the transportation. Yeah. Now, we've looked at the potholes. I know they're out there. They're getting better. We're getting them fixed, but it's still horrible. But we're trying to find a way to get a lot more money into TDOT without raising our taxes. I have been working on this. This is probably the bill I've been working on the hardest, and I'm going to be presenting it not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. I believe I've got the votes in the first committee to go through it and get it passed. It's going to be the next committee as we go into finance that we're arguing. I met with the House sponsor, David Hawk. He thinks he's got the votes in the House to get it through the first committee as well. So we're definitely moving. But if we can get an extra $1 billion per year that doubles what we give to the state, that can make a huge impact on how fast our roads are getting done, fixed, and built.
This is definitely a possibility to increase funding for roads. I mean, we got to give you that. What is the biggest hurdle here, or why would people be opposed to this? Why would they not vote for this?
Right now, we are in a flat budget. Okay, so if we take money from one area to put it to another, what area do we cut it from? Where are we cutting? And that is the biggest rub at this point. Because we are flat, and it's $1 billion, and we got a $52 billion budget.
Okay, well, I will agree. You are adding. You're taking $1 billion here that hasn't been earmarked for transportation. That would be.
Yes.
So yes, I guess some others are going to be maybe cut short a little bit because of this, but there are some things that some of us think ought to be cut anyway.
Yes, and so this is my argument. Okay, the state is in the business. It is our job to build roads. That is what we should be doing. But we have a lot of programs out there like buying diapers for everybody. That's not what the state's supposed to be doing. Okay, I mean, let's focus on what is the core responsibility of the state of Tennessee, and building roads is one of our core responsibilities. So we better make sure that those are done before we do fringe benefits and things like that. So I want to make sure that we're focusing and majoring on the majors, and that's what I want to do. Let's take and do what we're supposed to do and do it well.
How bad would some of these others be hurt if they are cut back a little bit? Can we afford that cut and not really make that much difference?
I absolutely believe we can, but I'm the type of person that I'm going to say, before we're going to put a new porch on the back, make sure your house is painted. Do the things we're supposed to do, and we can make those tough decisions at the Capitol. I think there's a lot of people that feel uncomfortable doing it, so I've had to break this down to do a separate amendment. And the amendment says this, Coleman: if there's $1 billion that's free that we want to move to TDOT, and we might not be able to get the votes to do it right now, to say this: if any inflation that's going to come, and we're anticipating about a 3.21% inflation rate, so next year, if we just take that increase of about $32 billion or $32 million, put that to TDOT. So we didn't take anything of the billion, but we took any growth. The next year would be $64 million. Then it would be $96 million. So we start funding it. Then when we do have a good year, and we're going to have those good years again, then I'm going to say take about $250 million out of that $1 billion base, start moving it over at that point. So I don't have to cut anything. They could do it from new funds, but we're working on a set plan without raising taxes to get this to TDOT. Now, it's going to be a stable fund that goes in. It's going to be inflation, because as cars are going to cost more, tires are going to cost. It'll keep up with inflation. It's user money. I mean, if you're buying a tire, you're buying a car, you're going to use it on a road. These are all things that I'd like, and it's doing it without raising taxes. And Coleman, this is what I believe is common sense legislation that gets what we need, and we need these roads. We need to get this stuff built. We're sitting in traffic all the time. We're sitting on potholes.
Let me change to education for just a minute. We got about 3 minutes left here. I keep having people say to me they don't think that what is proposed, what the governor's proposed, has actually been defined as it should be. They're not, and you may be in that same situation.
Yes, so the choice and the vouchers, it's not, but we are going to be getting that legislation. So I've talked to, in fact, I was with the Department of Education yesterday, I was with the State Board of Education yesterday, and I was with some of the sponsors yesterday of saying, we want it. And they've said, we're having it within 7 days. We're going to have that language. It's going to be out so everybody can look at it. It's hard for me to say whether I like it or I don't like it until I actually see the words in this.
No doubt some of your constituents, and especially some school directors and school board members and this sort of thing, are wanting to know how you feel about this, where you stand, and they have said the same thing to me. A couple of them here, I think, that they're not sure because it hasn't all the details hasn't come out.
That's exactly right. And I want to see those details before I say this is a great plan or this is a horrible plan or we need to adjust it or fix it. And we've been pushing on this for a while, and I've let the department know that I'm a little bit disappointed because this was something that the governor's talked about last year.
What has been the holdup? Is it a political strategy not to
I don't think so. I think that they're trying to get it right. And I know they're going across the country to see different programs that have worked. Okay. For example, Arizona's got one, and they said, we don't want the Arizona plan. That didn't work. There's other states that they're saying, we're trying to get the data from each state to say what would work in Tennessee, because this has been tried in other states. Some states it hasn't worked so well. Some states has worked okay. And they want to make sure they're lining it up and taking the best from each state and putting it in. And this is what they're saying. They're saying, Pody, be careful and be patient with us, because we're really trying to make this the best we possibly can. And if it takes us an extra week to do it, give us that week so we can come and give the legislature the best plan we possibly can.
Okay, so we'll stay tuned. We got a minute.
So Coleman, I'm going to tell you, I'm inviting people back down to the Capitol. So if somebody wants to come back down, they're certainly welcome to call my office. Debbie is doing an awesome job. We are moving, and I've got to thank all the people around. We're going to the EMS station next. So I got Michael Hale, Representative Michael Hale, Representative Clark Boyd, Representative Susan Lynn. We're going to the EMS station to make sure that all the EMS stations in Wilson County get flags. We're going to do that this morning. So that's going to be an awesome time at 9 o'clock this morning. That's where we're going to be.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us. The good thing about you coming each Friday, if we don't get it today, we'll get it next time.
There you go.
So thanks for being with us. Our Friday Senate Report, Senator Mark Pody, and that is part one of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends. Want to thank Absolute Kubota. They'll help you rent the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Check out the U35 excavator or the SVL 75 compact track loader. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Heavy traffic now trying to get out of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County on 24 westbound, headed towards Nashville up through the Antioch area as that traffic continues to build on Vietnam Fence westbound through Hendersonville all the way up to Conference Drive. Still holding up right now through the Mount Juliet area. It's heavy, though, as you leave Wilson County on 40 going west as you continue towards Nashville. Prince's Hot Chicken, they're hiring at all four of their locations. Order online today at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
For more than 36 years, Wilson Bank & Trust has been proud to serve communities all across Tennessee. As an independent local bank, we provide banking products competitive with large banks, but delivered with personalized local service. Wilson Bank & Trust has been community-focused since 1987 and looks forward to many more. Discover the power of local community banking that truly makes a difference. Give us a call or come on by any of our local 30 locations or visit wilsonbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
1.5 seconds left, no timeouts. Here's your season. Negron gives it to Bird. Bird for the win. It's gone. He got it. College Hoops is back, and so is Cumberland University on the radio. Join me, John Boyce, in the booth for every Mid-South Conference game this regular and postseason for both men's and women's Phoenix basketball. Conference games are every Thursday starting at 5:30 and every Saturday starting at 1 o'clock. Phoenix basketball is right here on 98.9. Cumberland's a winner.
As we go through today, we have an afternoon shot for showers as the cold front moves through Middle Tennessee, warming up to a high of 61. An overnight low tonight, dropping down to 28 with an 80% chance of showers, turning into a few snowflakes by the end. No hazardous road conditions are expected at this time. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
Good.
We continue here on this Friday morning. Welcome to part two of Coleman and Company. It's time for us to talk about the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. Miss Judy is here this morning all by her lonesome. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, and it is nice to see you as always.
Well, good.
And as we might say, you're flying solo today.
That's right. That's right. Well, Mike brought me down here, so he's around hanging out, talking to somebody.
And Miss Medina is on special assignment.
She's on very special assignment, and I hope she's enjoying her assignment.
All right. We always mention the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty, located at 1330 West Main in Lebanon. Great people, great service, people you can trust. And Miss Judy always has stories to tell as well as Well, your experience just shows when you come here each Friday and tell us points that you give us from time to time, things to remember to do and things not to do, and it shows.
Well, a lot of people, a lot of people have been in a home for 15, 20 years, and they don't do this very often.
Right.
We get a few customers that, sell every 2 years and buy another house, but very few of them. And most of them, it's a big experience, and it's the biggest financial decision you do ever in your lifetime. So we have to walk people through this because it's all the unknown to them. And that's what we tell them. Just relax. We're going to do step by step so you know what's to expect and what to happen. But a lot of people go, okay, if I put my house on the market, what are we going to do about showings? They get all worried about how's the showing process going to work. Well, we've got a sheet that when we list your house, we've got questions to ask you. And this sheet will be used when somebody calls in to look at your house. We know what to look at the sheet to see what happens with this house. Because some people have pets that don't go outside. They stay inside. And we had one customer had a cat that had never, her feet had never touched the grass, her paws. So they had said, we don't ever let her in the yard. So you have to be aware, is there dogs in the house, so that you tell the other agent showing the house, there's pets in the house, they don't go outside, or the pets will be in crates, or the pets won't be there. Because most people want to know if there's pets there living in the house or not before they go. Right. Because some people have allergies and that kind of thing. Also, we want to know, is the house vacant or is somebody there still living there? So the agent knows if it's vacant, what to expect. Also, we always let them know, we try to tell them ahead of time that agents always call, and we will call you in advance. And we tell them if somebody comes to your door and says, oh, I'm supposed to look at the house at 10 o'clock right now, and we have not contacted you, do not let them in. Because we screen the people, the agents screen their customers. We don't want somebody a lot of people think if a house has got a for sale sign, they can just walk up the door and look at it. Well, it's only by appointment only with an agent, and it has to be a licensed agent. We don't let anybody show your house with just customers. They have to have an agent with them. And then some people have an alarm system. Well, they go, what am I going to do about that? Well, a lot of times we'll get a temporary code that we use just for the agents to use, so that nobody's giving out their code. And then sometimes they don't want to give a temporary code, so they want the agent, the listing agent, to come and be there and unset the alarm for the other agent. So we do that. And then sometimes they have the remote alarms a lot that they can do remotely from their phone. So they'll unlock their door, and they'll also set the alarm off when the agent gets there. And then sometimes they want us to go back to make sure all the lights got turned off and all the doors got locked. And then too, a lot of people, they don't use their front door. They pull in the garage and go in the garage door, and they go in the man door. They're at the garage. Well, they don't lock that door. When they get in the garage, they go into the house, and that door is not locked. Well, agents are taught, when you get through showing a house, you lock every door. Well, we have to put up signs to make sure, do not lock the garage door, because people come home, pull in the garage, and go to open the door, and it's locked. So we have to say, now, do you normally lock that door, or do you keep it open? And then a lot of people have a front door, they have a screen door.
Yeah.
Well, they lock the screen door all the time. Well, the key fits the wooden door, not the screen door. So when the agent gets there, they got the key to get in, but they can't get the screen door open. So we have to say, don't lock the screen door when your house is being shown. They forget these things. Yeah. And then they're calling us going, we can't get the screen door open. And then we have lock boxes, and it's a security lock box. We do not use combo locks. Some agents do, but it's not a good thing, because the combo locks that we use, when that agent opens that box and gets the key, it tells us on our phone who's going in that door. And it tells us how long they stay. And when they leave, it shows that they locked the door back. And then we know, did they stay 10 minutes? Did they stay an hour? Did they even show up? Because some people will call and go, I don't know if anybody's even been here. It doesn't look like it, And some people just, they don't have a lot of carpet in the houses anymore. And we used to tell by the tracks on the carpet. But now some people come in and look at a house, and they might stay 5 minutes, and they might stay an hour. So there's things like that. And we always want to report back to the customer after the showing. They're sitting there wondering how it went. And a lot of agents won't call them back for 2 or 3 days. And after they got everything all ready and people came and then they never told them anything, it's bad customer service. So we tried to, within that day, within that 24-hour period, call them back and say, here's what the agent said. And we're going to tell you the bad, the good, and the ugly. If they didn't like it, if they thought the house had an odor, or if they thought it was dirty, or whatever they thought, we're going to tell you. Because that way you can help correct stuff.
Yeah.
And then also, we don't have a showing service. A lot of the real estate companies have a showing service. I'm old school on that because the showing service, usually that person is in some other town and the agent calls and says, I want to show a house on Windmere Drive. And then she goes, okay, it's good to show. The lockbox is on the front door. Go show. Well, an agent, to me, when you're selling somebody's house, you want to tell them all the stuff you can tell them about it before they get there. Because the agent, she feels informed. She's walking in a house that she's never been in before. And if we give her information that they're selling because of this, or they're doing this, or they're doing that, or this house has got a new roof, whatever, she's prepared when she goes in to show it. So we don't have a showing system. You call our office directly, and then we set up the showings ourselves with our other agents, because I feel like they need to know what they're walking into before they get there.
Okay, we're about out of time here. You're always looking for listings.
That's right. We're looking for listings. I think Medane's got 5 or 6 coming up when she gets back. So she's got them lined up ready to go, and the people are getting their homes ready. So I think for the way it looks, a lot of people have been waiting all winter to think about putting their house on the market. It looks like we're going to have a good summer and a good spring. So if you're thinking about it, give us a call and we'll come out and tell you what we think we can get for it. And if you don't want to do it, there's no obligation and we're fine. We'll just come out and tell you what we think.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us. And I guess you can say those 6 words that Medina always leaves us with.
She told me I better not forget, but don't make a move without us.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Judy Cox, Exit Rocky Top Realty, C&D Team, 1330 West Main Street here in Lebanon. Great people, great service. They are people you can trust. Well, we're going to get to talk to another candidate for school board this morning in Lebanon Special School District. And we have Dusty Jones with us this morning. Dusty, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It's nice to see you. Nice to have you here. And pretty much going to follow our typical political type of format here. Okay. You are a candidate in the Republican primary for the school board for the Lebanon Special School District, one of 2 candidates on the ballot. And we talked with the other one yesterday. You're here today. So if you will, get us started. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, Coleman, I'm an unapologetic Christian, first and foremost. I'm a believer in God, and I won't let that back down. I'm 44 years old. I'm married to Julie Jones, and we have 2 kids, Caden and Lila Grace. Caden's a freshman at Lebanon High School this year, and Lila attends Walter J. Baird. I'm the Assistant Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Lebanon. I've been the Assistant Director for almost 20 years now, but I've actually worked with the Recreation Department for about 28 years now. So I've been around kids and families all my life and pretty much devoted my whole career towards helping the kids. I attended Cumberland University for a while, and then I went to Continual Learning Institute to get my real estate license, and I do that on the side as well. And all my kids have gone to the LSSD schools, and me and my wife, Julie, we attended LSSD schools through our whole childhood as well.
Okay, why are you running for this office? Why do you want to be on the school board?
First and foremost, if you know me, I care about the kids. Kids have always been something that I've been passionate about. I want to love on them, make sure they have what they need, and take care of the teachers and all that stuff. But first and foremost, safety. Today's time, the world's full with chaos and all kinds of stuff, and we need to make sure that our kids feel safe at school. In order for them to get a good education, if you're not feeling safe and secure, I don't feel like you're going to get the education that you should. Whether it's adding more metal detectors in the schools, we have one now in the schools that rotates around school to school each day, and they, make the kids walk through the metal detectors, checking them for guns and all that type stuff. I'd maybe like to add more of those, look at new technology for the, weapon detection system or something like that, but make sure that our students and children and our staff, and make sure everybody is safe That's my number one priority. We have SROs in the school, and I think that's a really good thing, and we always got to have one of those in there. I think that's a vital role for our safety for our students. And then, of course, education is second. We just want to ensure that each student is academically challenged to achieve his or her ultimate potential, as well as being equipped with life and social skills needed to be successful in his or her chosen career path, and make sure their personal relationships are a priority. We want to continue to be a community of excellence, like the LSSD motto is. It takes all of us, Coleman, for our children today. It don't just take, I'm not running this for me personally. I'm running for the children and for our teachers and our administrative staff and the bus drivers, everybody that wants to, parents, everybody wants to see our kids do good at the end of the day. And that's, to me, what it's all about. Teachers, I can't imagine being a teacher in today's time. I feel like they're attacked a lot of times when they shouldn't be. Our teachers, all they want is for our kids to have a good education. They want to love on our kids. They like to be kind to our kids. They want the kids to grow. There's not a teacher that I know of that don't want to see your kid excel and do good. They want what's best for them. I want to continue to give them raises. I think I don't think teachers will ever get paid enough for what they have to do. So as long as I'm on the board, if I'm elected, I will make sure that they get a raise every year, because I just think that's just a vital thing. Helps you retain the teachers. It helps build morale a little bit and makes them love and feel appreciated that you're thinking about them too, instead of just being a regular job for them.
Okay. It's time for us to take a break already. Dusty Jones is here. We'll talk more about his candidacy for Lebanon Special School District School Board in a moment here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and that regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still heavy traffic now. Trying to get up through the Antioch area, coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County on 24 going westbound. Just that typical Friday morning stuff up through there right now. It is heavy at times to Millersville already. It's been that way on and off this week in the morning time on 65 southbound. Again, coming through Sumner County. Not too bad right now, leaving Mount Juliet on 40 westbound as you head towards Hermitage. A 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Middle Tennessee. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. They're online at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Are you ready to move on up to your next dream home?
We are full-time real estate professionals with over 42 years of combined experience.
We will get the job done for you to move on up.
Ready for a deluxe apartment in the sky? Remember, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoler at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
Forever moving on up to the side.
It's tax time, and Cars Unlimited Tax Service is locally owned and has 33 years of experience in preparing taxes. They do upfront loans of $250 to $6,000. They're also an authorized IRS e-file provider. Call 615-449-2955 or stop by 1006 West Main Street in Lebanon. Cars Unlimited Tax Service stands ready to help you prepare your taxes. And we continue. Thanks for joining us. If you tuned in late, we have Dusty Jones with us this morning, who is a candidate for Lebanon Special School District School Board. This is a seat. You have an opponent we talked with yesterday. Let me just ask you this. From your point of view, what are the issues in this race? People are going to choose between you or her, and this is the Republican primary, but there are no candidates running as independents or Democrats, so whoever wins this primary is going to be, as far as we know, the next school board member. What do you consider some of the issues here? People got to choose between one or the other. What are the issues?
Right. Well, I think we got to always build and maintain our teachers. There's becoming a teacher shortage throughout the country because, like I say, teachers don't get paid enough, and we have to find a way to get teachers and keep teachers, which we do a very good job of doing now. But we got to continue to make sure we get teachers that love and truly care about our children. We also need to work on our student ratio in the classroom, teacher-student ratio. So a teacher's not overwhelmed with 30 students per one teacher. We need to try to keep that low because that's not only good for the teacher to get it low, but it's also good for the student. And we have good educational assistants that help the teachers out. So we need to continue to do that as well. Again, I want to keep growing the safety and security measures at every school. And then we want to make sure we keep and preserve the quality of the board we've got. The Board of Education that we have now, we all get along for the most part, and we work things out, and we don't want a lot of drama and chaos. Because if you add a lot of drama and chaos into situations, all that does is affect the kids at the end of the day. And this race will never be about me. It's, like I said, always going to be about the children and making sure they have.
Let me ask you this, because there have been some who have proposed adding to the number of people on the school board. Mm-hmm. Maybe having 5 instead of 3 or whatever. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not going to say never add board members at this time. I personally think if you look at the surrounding counties, all right, let's just take Wilson County, for example. They have 23,000 students, okay? We've got around 4,400. So if you take the county, they have 7 board members. Well, they're representing over 3,000 students per board member, if you look at it like that. We have, 4,400. So we're, as a board member, we're somewhere between 1,250 a piece. So we're still low on the numbers of how many we represent. And then I think sometimes if you get too many on there, you can have some little drama and chaos that we see in other districts around. And look, nobody needs that. I feel like a lot of times I know teachers from other districts have come here and they would be on pins and needles in the other districts. They would watch their board meetings, the way the other board members acted in board meetings. They'd be scared to death that they were going to have a job the next day or what was going to happen to them or whatever. We don't need all that. Our board does not get paid. As long as I'm a board member, I will never vote to get paid. A board could come in and choose to get paid. If they voted on it, then the taxpayers could vote to pay them. The board could vote and they would have to pay them if that's what the board decided. But as long as I'm a board member, I want to continue giving back to the community, and I will never vote to be paid as a board member of the 11 Special School District.
Issue of communication has been brought up. Mm-hmm. I'd like to know your thoughts. Is the communication within the Lebanon Special School District, is it adequate? I'm sure there's always room for improvement. What are your thoughts about that? Is that a big issue with you? Better communication.
Communication. Both my kids have been through the LSSD. My daughter's in middle school now. Caden's went all the way through it. I've never had a problem with communication. Never. There's phone calls that's given out. There's text messages that's given out. The LSSD just adopted a new app. There's Seesaw. It's a program that you can communicate with the teachers back and forth. They keep you informed. Through all the teachers that my kids have had, we've always got like a syllabus at the beginning of the year that shows what your students going to be learning per 9 weeks all the way through the year. But I've never had a problem with the communication. Sometimes you have to do your part too, make sure your phone numbers are updated, your email addresses are updated. And if you're not getting the communication, go see the school, go see the principal or ask the teacher or something. Because we kind of got to do our part sometime too as parents. So we are involved with the communication.
Another thing that, of course, has come up, we had to deal with COVID and this thing with the 3rd grade, and now they are 4th graders now, and I'm sure you are aware of this, and I would like your thoughts regarding this and how to deal with it. There was maybe a time there that COVID, I think generally speaking, the children didn't learn as much then maybe as they would have had we not experienced that, and trying to make up for that. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree on the COVID issue. My kids were in fifth grade and third grade, I think, at the time. I think the third grade retention law really had a really good meaning behind it at first. I think it had really good intentions from the state level. Don't know if we maybe thought it all the way through, but our kids do need to learn to read, first and foremost. But I think we need to go back a different way and maybe look at it different. So it's not just on one test on if you're going to pass the third grade or not. I do know the district leaders, along with Mr. Pody and Mr. Boyd, have gone to Capitol Hill and have voiced their concerns. And I think that's what they should do. That way, our district leaders are meeting with the people at the state capitol that make these laws, so they can tell them what they're seeing and what they're not seeing in trying to improve so our kids can learn to read and get past that level. So when they carry on to fourth grade, that they can get out of fourth grade as well. But they do offer several programs to get out of that third grade. You can go to summer school, there's tutoring, there's other avenues that you can use in order to get out of that.
Another thing, of course, and as a board member, you've got to always be concerned with financial stability and where you are financially, and if you're, what can you do, what can't you do according to the restraints of your budget and this sort of thing. What kind of person are you when it comes to managing money and handling these things? And of course, if worse comes to worse, you can always try to. There's a special 10th district tax that supports the district, which can be raised, I guess, or lowered too.
Right.
You're aware of all that.
Yes,
Talk about the finances.
Well, our budget right now for the Lebanon Special School District is nearly $46 million. And a lot of that is made up of salaries. But we could raise the taxes if we needed to, but I don't think right now we need to. I've had experience with the Recreation Department budget. Make sure it's all done. We just have to be smart with our money. A lot of our money is set forth by the state for our budget on what we can and can't do with it. But here's one thing I feel really good about. We purchased land out off Level Pike and Crowell Lane to build a new school. Something we usually they have done different in the past. They don't advertise that they're going out here to try to buy land like some districts do. Because if you go out here to advertise, you're looking for buy land, well, everybody in the world's going to say, yeah, I've got some land, but they're going to jack that price up, right? So that's one thing that we've always done, and we've been smart with our money. Just like when we built Jones-Brummett Elementary School, they went ahead and bought extra land there too, so we can build a middle school there one day. So it's all lumped in together, and then as long as we can keep focusing our money on spending on our students, staff, administrative staff, and also our bus drivers. We take care of our bus drivers. They make pretty good money compared to other districts, and we also put an aide on there with that bus driver every day. So all that bus driver's got to do is drive. He don't have to deal with discipline. He can just drive and make sure they're getting there safe when somebody else deals with the discipline that needs to be on there.
But as far as the finances go, you think we're in pretty good shape?
I think we're in very good shape. They've always managed money very well. We don't have to, the county has to go to the county commission to get their budget approved. The city of Lebanon, we don't have to go to the city council to get them to approve it. We just get our budget together, and it has to be approved by the legislature, and we just go from there. But no, we've never had a budget problem in over 30 years.
Well, I'm going to give you a chance to summarize everything here in a couple of minutes. But another thing, of course, even Senator Pody and I have alluded to it a little bit this morning, but the charter schools, the vouchers, the governor's proposed in his State of the State address. What do you think of that? How does that affect Lebanon Special School District?
I think it could affect all public schools, Coleman, really. I've not seen the whole details of it all. But especially a lot of the smaller school districts, if we start taking the money away from them, I don't know how some of them will survive. If they did do a bunch of vouchers and stuff, I don't know how much money we will lose, But I mean, that may be something that if you did that, you would have to find up another source of income to supplement money that you're losing from the state with the school vouchers. I have several good friends that do send their kids to private school, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to go to private school, that's all, you do it. You do you. But I do think it would impact the public school system somewhat.
Okay, we got about a minute and a half, and I'm going to give you the rest of the time here to kind of sum up your candidacy and tell us why you should be the next school board member for the Lebanon Special School District.
All right. Lebanon Special School District and the community that surrounds it is a wonderful place to be, Coleman. I'm proud to have been here my whole life. My wife and kids both have all been through LSSD, so I truly care about the system. It's been a good system, and I just want to continue to giving back to the people of the district as a school board member to help ensure that the children for years to come have the benefit of a safe place to go to school, a wonderful education, and teachers and principals who will be there for them no matter what chaos is going on in the world. I want to help ensure that LSSD board does not become a place of chaos, as so many boards have, but continue to focus on what is most important, which is our children and our teachers. I'll also be a new voice for parents. With me working with children and families for 28 years, you know where to find me. I'm at the ballparks, schools. I volunteer to coach at Walter J. Baird baseball team. So I'm easy to find. If you want to call me up, have a cup of coffee, or me take you to lunch or whatever, discuss whatever issue you have, feel free to call me. I'm always going to listen. As long as you talk to me in a respectful way, I'll sit down and talk to anybody. I enjoy sitting down and talking to people as long as we can do it as an adult. But I'm not going to have you come and scream at me or anything like that. But if we want to sit down and have an adult conversation, we'll talk about anything you want to talk about.
All right. I want to thank you for being with us this morning. We appreciate having you here. Early voting is going on now. Election will be in the first week of March. And
yes,
Dusty Jones, thanks for being with us again.
All right. Thank you, Colin.
That is it for a Friday. Have a nice weekend. Till Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.